Hello everybody and welcome to my first official Minecraft video. This is going to be a world tour. I started this world back in like around Halloween-ish, and since then it's been 1,300 Minecraft days. Oh God. And in that amount of time, I think I've made a pretty decent amount of progress on a lot of things and not as much on others. To start, I'm gonna just quickly, flex some valuables. You know how it is. Got First, I one of the challenges I had was to get every ore in the game, and pretty sure this is everything, including this thing, which, yeah, we don't talk about Deep Slate Emerald ore. I then also got every trim in the game. I'm not sure if everything's in here, but I did get the, where is it? Did get the Silence Armor trim in, like, my second Ancient City, which is pretty lucky, I think. But, this is actually the one that took me the longest. I could not find a nether fortress that had a chest in it for the life of me. Took like 5 or 6 cities before, or fortresses before I even got one with a chest. It was rough. Uh, Finally we got the valuables, like miscellaneous stuff. These are 2 items that I duplicated completely on accident. I just happened to close the game, and I'm playing in 1.21, so there was a bug where if you close the game at a certain time while putting things in a chest, it duplicates them, and yeah, it's uh, it's funny. I haven't duplicated anything else though. These are just funny little accident. Also got the dragon egg. You know how it be. Every world needs to keep this thing safe. Netherite block. This took a while to get, and I think it's funny just to have it. I'm not gonna use it for anything. Got a blue axolotl. This, I wanted to get one for before day 1000 so bad, and I got one like 2 days before it. I should edit in a screenshot right about now of me with 1000 days and having the blue axolotl already. But yeah, I had to lock in. This took me a few attempts, given about 700 of these are cows, but yeesh. I got pretty unlucky on that one. So yeah, I've also got like a couple of diamonds, like enough to last a little bit, I think. And yeah, that's all my valuable items I can think of. I've got plenty of beacons, but that's pretty easy with farms and cheesing the wither. So, yep. Hope you enjoy the rest of the tour. Alright, so my first farm here is a pretty simple slime farm. It's actually one of the very few farms that I've actually decorated at all. I just like the nice little AFK spot. This will not be a common theme, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's just a pretty basic setup. It's unfortunately built in a terrible spot. I had to light up all the mountains. And yeah, all these farms will be in approximately chronological order, so let's go to the next one. And here is my next farm. This is a pretty basic creeper farm. It's just classic, really big brick with trapdoors on top, carpets on the bottom, drop chute, and yeah, it uses snowman instead of cats because at the time I did not have a good access to said cats, and it's really slow. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This farm no longer is that great. It's been made completely redundant by another farm. Like, look at this. This is, yeah. It's a lot of waiting for a little gunpowder. At least it uses looting, I guess, instead of just letting them die. Oh well. And here is just a piece of terrain that I thought looked really nice. Like, I don't know why it generated like this, but it's like a pretty perfect, like, three-quarter circle cove. And I really want to build something here, but I don't know exactly what to make. Maybe if you guys have any ideas, you can throw something at me and I might like it. Alright, so next we have to go like 10,000 blocks away from the base to the next couple things. This here. Oh, that's a bit glitchy. This here is the Super Smelter by Shulkercraft. It's really nice. It's 64 furnaces, smelts stuff really fast, and I built it way out here, which is a little annoying to get to, but there is also a reason for it. And that reason is just through the portal. So hop back into the nether really quick. And here's the reason why I built that there. It's ENX04's Pure Pressure Nether Fortress Mob Farm. It's a really interesting design that uses dogs and turtle eggs to essentially make wither skeletons and pigmen push blazes into a portal. It's really cool, and this is where my obsession with ENX04 farms kind of started. Although I will say it was really annoying to get all the dogs into place. The blazes were doing their best ATF impression, missing me entirely and just shooting the dogs. Anyway, yeah, it uses a bridge in the overworld to kind of funnel all the mobs into one killing chamber, and then also sorts out non-stackable items so I don't have to deal with 1 million bows and pigment swords and stone swords, and yeah. Fun fact, it's also the only farm that I haven't uh, get, given a shulker loader or an item sort or two, because, I don't know, I'm just lazy, I guess. So for the next farm, we've got the ENX04 stacking raid farm, which I think is really cool. I love how it uses lava casts to bypass manually making these giant towers, and yeah, it's really efficient. It supplies me with way more raid drops than I ever need. It's also the reason why my gunpowder farm is now obsolete. It does better than that at gunpowder. Also, I have shulker box loaders that are probably too slow for the farm itself anyway. Next on the list, surprise, surprise, we have another ENX04 farm. This is a Guardian XP farm that I attempted to convert into a drops farm. It's really interesting because I don't need to do all the manual labor of draining the monument. Instead, it just uses soul sand to push guardians up into more portal elevators and sends them to the nether for a bit, waits out their portal cooldown timer, and brings them up here. And eventually, I don't know why there's so many drops up there. I probably screwed something up in the design. Eventually, you get these beautiful guardian waterfalls almost of hundreds of mobs at once, and I could just sit here watching this probably forever. And yeah, it gets me plenty of drops. And unfortunately, the weak point of this farm is that my sorting system is very bad, not fast enough to deal with the drops, and I didn't think too hard about the water streams, so they don't burn all of the drops either. And yeah, it's probably need to revamp that a bit later. But just in the meantime, just watch like all of these mobs just dying in one hit. It's so nice, so satisfying. As long as you just don't look at the redstone. It's not not good redstone. Yeah, there's the drops that I missed. Anyway, on to the next farm. The next few farms I have are all going to be in the nether, at least before I get to the end. Uh, so this next one is a Froglight farm made by Shulkercraft. It's a neat little design, just pretty much uses different methods of spawn proofing to make sure that only magma cubes spawns in a basalt delta, everybody's favorite nether biome. And iron golems just break them down, and the frogs eat them. It's all picked up by a minecart, and it's really efficient. It's like produces thousands per hour, and for such a small farm, it's pretty damn powerful. Anyway, we're gonna go off to the other farms in the Nether. Next up for the Nether, we have a pigman farm as well as a bartering farm item sorter. The bartering farm is not shown here because it's pretty ugly setup, but it's nice for just sorting out all the unnecessary stuff. And I also forgot to spawn proof a few blocks, so I've got a pigman down there. Anyway, the pigman farm itself is made by ENXO4 yet again. It's another really smart design that uses portal elevators, smart positioning to use minimal resources for spawning platforms, and yeah, the storage is a bit scuffed. It's not meant to have like hopper storage, but I added a unstackable item sorter just to not deal with the gold sword drops, and the rotten flesh unfortunately has to be dispensed of manually. There's the dispenser there, and we're going to go on to the end now. Alright, so I'll go through the portal to my end portal. Those of you who know what it is will realize that it is a chunk loader, and that's because my end portal has been converted into a gravity block duper. I believe this design is by Kelp MC, and it is really nice because it just generates a lot of gravity blocks, and nobody wants to mine sand and gravel for hours and hours. That's probably the least fun thing in the game. So go through the end portal and to the collection system. It uses a few different shulker box loaders, and I like the buttons to just destroy the gravity blocks. It's a cool little mechanic. It's also one of the few places that I've actually decorated a little bit. I like the bridge a lot. It's just a nice little thing. It's first time I've ever really used frog lights in a build. You may see me looking back to something, and that may be revealed later. It's a bit of a secret for now. And we'll go across the main end island. There's not much to see. Got a lot of gateways open because I want to use all of them. And heading this way for a little bit, we'll get to... This is probably the most useful farm that I have, and it's the shulker farm. It's, well, at least it's definitely up there in terms of usefulness. I use I spam shulker boxes so much. I spam shulker loaders, and funnily enough, this one doesn't have it because I couldn't bother spawn proofing it. But it's a cool design that basically just has one shulker just in jail for all of eternity and constantly hit to duplicate itself. So yeah, pretty standard stuff. And start going over to another one of the cooler things in my world. This is just like a really weirdly generated entity. I think two tried to generate in the same spot, leading to some silliness such as this really long staircase that changes styles like 3 different times. Like, it just keeps going. And it's also got a bit of wonkiness, like this cut off, like, top. My end in general has just been really weird for no reason. As you can see here, there's a different end city that used to have this shulker just spawned on thin air. He's just chilling there, not a care in the world. Also, my Ender Dragon has just been really strange as well. Like, I didn't block any of his pathfinding nodes or anything. He just, like, decides to fly into the obsidian pillars every once in a while, and he'll clip inside and get stuck for like 3 minutes, and I have to sit there and wait for him, or try to spam with a bow. And I'll take the more annoying end dragon just for silly stuff like this shulker and the weird end city any day of the week. It just makes the world a little more unique. Alright, so we finally made it to my main base of operations area. This is where I have a lot more farms, got my villager set up. And to start, we have a honey farm. It's a small little thing. It produces enough. I don't use honey very much. Got a villager breeder. It's pretty slow, but it gets the job done. I already have most of the villagers I need. Got the training vault, we've got pretty much all the villagers. Most of the books I want or need are in here already. Moving on, then we have a really neat little string duper. It's very fast and optimal for wool, I'm pretty sure. We've got the sniffer drop farm. I don't really use any of it. It's there for the sake of existing. Got a cactus and sugarcane farm as well. They're both currently turned off, funnily enough, because I made them and then realized that I don't have too much of a need for either of them, other than rockets, but don't need that much sugarcane for rockets. Very primitive concrete converter. And then here we've got the Kelp MC cobblestone farm. It's fast, it produces stone. It's about all you need. Then this is probably the second most used farm that I have. It's the bamboo farm. It's pretty broken. I didn't know bamboo could be turned into wood until pretty far into my world. This is like the last farm I built here. It's really silly. And then the centerpiece is a iron farm. It served me well. I have plenty of iron blocks for beacons, hoppers. It's just most of the farms were built while waiting for villagers to breed for this farm, funnily enough. And after all that, let's look at my actual home. Wonder what type of mega base is down here, and yeah, nope. Got manual lava collection, yeah. Chests everywhere. There used to be a lot of shulkers, but at least I cleaned that up. Yeah, this is not a home. I'm definitely moving sometime soon. This is terrible. This is a day 1 base, and I'm on day 1,300. This will not be the case for much longer, hopefully, but yeah, no. Underneath my base, I have a nice little drop chute down to my mining setup. It's keep going, and here it is. It's a pretty big hole. Oh wait, nope, that's the smaller one. And yeah, I've done a bit of off-screen mining, like a lot of off-screen mining, and yeah, I needed a lot of deep slate for a mega build that's coming up. That's where my new home's gonna be. And yeah, all of this was mined out using this tunnel bore here. It's a Shulkercraft design, I believe, and uses about a stack and a half of ancient debris just to mine deep slate, because that's normal, right? Well, that should be it for the farms. And finally, we have my one and only actually good-looking build. It's a desert island in the middle of a coral reef that I've remodeled to make it look like a lush cave. This is where I bred the axolotls for the blue one, and the reason I decided to make it actually look good is because I'm kind of want to go for a world record. At least according to larger YouTube videos. The record for the most amount of blue axolotls is 2,000, and I've already bred well over 2,000 axolotls. I can do it again. And yeah, as a little thanks for everything, for the first 2,500 subscribers I get, if I get any at all, I don't care, I'll be naming a blue axolotl after you. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.